Wallahi, I had a sister and she told me that she used to listen to music, she used to sing in front of her mirror. I said, this is how you attracted the jinn in your houses. Then you have a ruh, the spirit, are assigned to harm children. Sulaiman has nothing to do with magic. And he made the dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him a kingdom that he did not give to anyone before or anyone after. And that's why he was able to control the jinn. But like he was able to talk to birds, he was able to talk to magicians. They are three categories when they use jinn. They use shayateen, they use marid, they use ifrit. The only ones who use ifrit are the worst of the magicians. Because the afari are not to be controlled by anybody. They're very powerful and they have very high conditions and standards and sacrifices that you have to get to, to a point where you have to pray to them.
Our brother Maz was a dentist, and Allah Akbar, even though he was making good money as a dentist, he left it to benefit the Ummah, to teach us how to invest our money. If you have 80k or more and you want to invest it in a halal way, no riba, no haram, then you can contact the brother. A QR code is here, the link is in the description, so he can help you and advise you how to invest your money. Not something that you have to work, just invest it and let it work for you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahu Akbar, you spoke with us last time about jinn and magic, and a lot of people benefited. Alhamdulillah. We got a lot of positive feedback, a lot of comments. I'm sure a lot of people reach out to you. And one of the things that we love about conversations with scholars like yourself is it's based on the Quran and the Ahadith al-Sahihah and the authentic Sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. It's not like hearsay, it's not just, oh, I heard and this and that. No, Kitab wa Sunnah. So in the light of authentic evidences, we want to do a part 2 to kind of expand on some of the subjects and really let the Ummah benefit from it. So regarding jinn, Sheikh, why are they called jinn? Like, where does that word come from?
Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah khair for the invitation. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from us and good barakah in our time and our effort, and forgive us for our shortcomings. Allahumma inna na'udhu bika min hawlina wa quwwatik wa nanju bi hawlika wa quwwatik. At a gathering like this, we always want to make sure we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for protection from all harm. And people who are watching should understand this, that there is no one who could harm you and no one could benefit you except by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is part of the Aqidah, part of our deen. That is very important. So when we speak about jinn, like I saw a lot of comments, people were like, I'm scared to sleep at night. Now after listening to this, I can't turn off the lights and all of that. No. Part of the shaitan is very weak. And we don't interact with jinn and that, like, we're just saying it out of teaching, out of our educational purpose, and to answer a lot of the question and misconception that people have. Jinn are from the unseen. And part of our deen is to believe in the unseen. First thing that Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. Those who believe in the unseen. And jinn are from that creation. They're unseen. So we can't speak about them except from the Quran and Sunnah. Because we can't see them. We interact on a certain level in this dunya, but the reality of jinn and their creation came to us through the wahy, Quran and the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So what is jinn? Jinn is anything that is hidden. Janna al-laylu, when the darkness of the night approaches. Al-Jannah is called Jannah because it is surrounded by walls and you cannot see inside. وَلَوْلَا إِذْ دَخَلْتَ جَنَّتَكَ قُلْتَ مَا شَاءَ اللَّهِ. You work in your own garden. Why is it called, the garden is called Jannah? Because you can't see the inside. So al-jinn are called jinn because they're hidden from the naked eye of a human being. Subhanallah. This is very important because when we say they're hidden from us, that means that there's others who see them. Could be animals, we'll discuss that later on. Uncertain animals. So when we're saying they're hidden from us as humans, they're created to be hidden from our eyes, where we cannot see them with the naked eye in their actual form that Allah has created upon them, not when they transform. And they are hidden, but they could see us. قال الله عز وجل إنه يراكم هو وقبيله من حيث لا ترونه. This ayah is very explicit. They could see you, you can't see them. Done. Can't see the mean in their actual form. So jinn are anything that is hidden that the eyes cannot see.
So when you say that they can see you, you mean like regularly when we're walking around, Jinn can see us?
Yeah, they're if they're around, they see you. They are able to see you everywhere. There's no veil between you and them unless you create that veil.
Or that's important because sometimes I'll be changing clothes or going to the bathroom and you don't want a Jinn kind of.
That's why the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu حديث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال بين أعين الجن وعورة بني آدم, between the eyes of the jinn and the aura of Bani Adam, so you're not exposed to them. أن يقول, that all you have to say is Bismillah, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi or khaba'ith. When you enter the bathroom, you say, oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from the male and the female jinn. And then there's a veil they won't be able to see.
So there's a great point that you brought that we'd like to talk about. You said the male and the female, right? So do Jinn have gender?
Yes, the hadith is very clear. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Iblis, قال الله عز وجل أفتتخذونه وذريته, him and his offspring. So his offspring is he has a wife, either married. We have male and female. When you enter the bathroom, you say this dua. And there's so many hadith that speaks about the male possession to a female, female to a male. In the jinn.
So you mean like a male Jinn possessing a female Jinn, or about the female Jinn being in love with after a human male?
Imam Shagar was asked once, he said, does Iblis have a wife? And he said, of course. Didn't Allah said, أَفَتَتَّخِذُونَهُ وَذُرِّيَّتُهُ, you're taking him and his offspring. So the man, that's all we need to stop at. Khalas, we know they have gender, and it's done. Do they have transgenders? Do they have... These questions are so big. Like, why are you going to...
Are they gender fluid? Are they LGBT?
They could be Allah, but we don't know. But we don't know that they have gender.
We go by evidence.
So he said, he was a funny comment. He was a funny imam. So someone asked him, he said, does Iblis have a wife? He said, yeah. For and process. He said, what's her name? See, this is the part. He said, I wasn't invited to the wedding. So this is too many questions. Allah said they're male, female, of jinn that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, that we believe they have gender like we do action. And sure, even their production is ongoing till the day of judgment.
SubhanAllah. So like one of the shuyukh that I was studying with you said how Adam alayhi salam is the father of the ins, that Iblis, the shaitan, not just the regular, but the actual one from the Quran about Adam alayhi salam, he is the father of the generation of jinn.
So let's I kind of disagree. So let's just say point number one before that. What is Iblis? Iblis is created from fire like jinn, and this is what they're created from. If we ask what are they created from, they're created from the flameless part of fire. قال الله عز وجل وخلق الجن من مارج من نار والجن من قبل. Jinn are created before humans. من قبل. Okay? من نار السموم. They're created from that darkness, the flameless part of the fire, the top part that is dark, where you could actually place your finger in and out. And we're gonna need that later when we talk about possession, because you have to look at them as air, flowing air. Because if you look at fire, if you turn a fire on and you look at the fire, the flameless part of it is actually air. You can put your finger through
where you don't get burned.
You don't get burned. Yeah. So when we say, oh, they're fire, they're not that fire that you think of.
Right, so that's another question. So first to understand that jinn were there before before human. It's also in the tafsir regarding the malaika talking about fasad al-ard. It said because the jinn will see. Yeah.
So we have three creation. Angels from light, jinn from the flameless part of fire, human from what is being described. This hadith in Sahih Muslim. And I hope I don't have to give reference every time. But you trust the review, inshallah.
That's the whole point. That all of this with evidence, inshallah,
so the Prophet ﷺ said that. And humans are created from what was described as soil. طيب. So we have angels. Then Allah created jinn. We have the rebellions of jinn. The rebellions of jinn are called shayateen, devils. And the word devil is someone who rebel against Allah, rebel in action. So Allah sent them down to earth. So you have angels in the skies, above heavens or in heavens. You have jinn there. And then you have the rebellions of jinn who were sent to earth. And these are those who are causing problems. So when Allah created Adam, the malaika related to the jinn. They said, you're creating them. وإذ قالت الملائكة وإذ قال ربك الملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء. How did they know that? They seen the action of the jinn. Now, where was Iblis? Iblis was among the angels. He has been elevated. So he's a jinn. He's a jinn who has been elevated because of his actions and his devotion in worship. They were not all sincere, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevated him because of his devotion of worship. So he was among the angels in worship. And he got to the level where he would sit with the angels. The same at level 4 in Jannah, level 5. Angels are level 6, 7. He will go up there. He has the permission to enter those areas where the angels have the permission. Like nowadays when you have a car to enter the hotel and all that. So that's Iblis.
Floors you can get to there.
So that's Iblis.
So shit, but many people that say Iblis was a teacher of the Malaika. No, right? This is a misconceptuality.
إبليس لأنه الملائكة لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. They're created for one purpose. They only worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They never disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Iblis was elevated to the rank and the level of the angels because of his worship. And that's why when Adam was created, and then he said, قال أنا خير منه خلقتني من نار وخلقته, I'm better than him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, oh, now you rebel. So he sent him out of Jannah, out of the status, the position that he was in. So he came down to earth and he led the shayateen. So I don't think he's the father of the shayateen. I don't think Iblis is the father of the jinn. Yeah, there is no evidence. We don't have evidence from the Quran or the Sunnah or anything that says he is the father. No, he is a shaitan created like every other jinn. But when he came down, he ruled the jinn on earth. Now they're not jinn. So we have terminologies are very important. When the Quran says angels, we know who they are. When the Quran says jinn, 90% of the time he's referring to believers of the jinn.
Interesting.
Oh, so
that brings us to another point, which are there religions amongst the jinn?
yes,
Are there believers? Are there kuffar? Are they Christians? Are they Jews?
every religion, every belief that we have. وَأَنَّ مِنَّا الْمُسْلِمُونَ وَمِنَّا الْقَاسِطُونَ. We have believers, وَأَنَّ مِنَّا الصَّالِحُونَ. We have righteous, we have non-righteous. كُنَّا طَرَائِقَ قِدَدًا. They said we're so many groups. Okay? And Shabi was asked who's the worst of groups. He said certain groups who curse the Sahaba.
Subhanallah.
One Muslim jinn.
The kuffar jinn that are the worst?
No. Muslims, jinn.
Oh.
We have, okay. Let's back up for a second. We're jinn. Yeah?
Okay.
They're created from fire.
Okay.
Good. That's all. That's the category. That's
Not like the fire we think, like not.
No, I'm no longer in the fire that we have today. Like we are made from mud, but we're not soil. So when we take a shower, we don't turn into
What? Exactly.
Where is the proof for that? The proof for that, there's a hadith. Give you one hadith. When the shaitan crossed by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, distracting him in the salah, and he took him, he reached out, and then he took him, he grabbed him, and then he returned back. Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, what did you grab in salah? Or what did he say? He said, there was a shaitan trying to distract me, and I held him from his clothes till I felt his saliva on my head. So if he was fired,
Yeah.
I would hear saliva.
Yeah.
And if he was fired and the Prophet would hold them, he would burn them. So we know that they're created, like we are created from soil and mud, but we're flesh, bones and meat. So they are fire, but their form now is completely different.
Yeah.
Could be like us, but they're more of disappearing form, like air.
Yeah. So one of the shuyukh gave a very beautiful example, which is even right now, we have like Wi-Fi signal right now going through us. We have radio signals going through us. Now it's there, it exists, it has an effect, but we don't see it, right? And at times that can become visible to you, right? Frequencies can become visible. So jinn are like that they're here,
Yes.
but they're kind of like in their own dimension.
Yes.
Where we interact with them, but we don't really see them.
And these are the devils that
Yeah.
Christians talk about. These are the demons that the Jews talk about. So everybody called them different names, but the belief is the same.
But to be very clear, especially because you have a lot of non-Muslims that watch the channel, Christians have this misconception that Shaitan or Iblis or the devil or Lucifer, whatever you want to call him, was an angel.
No.
And he's a fallen angel. But we as Muslims believe that angels don't disobey Allah. So, alhamdulillah, if you want to grow your wealth, alhamdulillah, we have our brother Ammar Sultan, and he has a wonderful system. I've met a lot of the people that have gone through it, and they're able to make the hijrah. They're able to go memorize Quran. They're able to help Islamic causes. Check out the link below. He has a special free video and a free program just because for this podcast, D3, you click the link here. Go check it out. If you benefit from it, then you can move on to his paid program and grow in your financial success and inshallah in your iman.
With all the respect and to everybody, we have our Quran that we follow, and when the Quran is clear, there is no chance of any interpretation or any assumption or any opinion outside the Quran.
Subhanallah.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم. They will never disobey. They are always in the form of obedience. ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. They are doing what they're commanded. So they won't disobey. So, but Iblis did. No. Iblis did because he is a jinn. He is a devil. He's already having that characteristic of fire in him, where when he gets angry, he changes. And that's why, that's why we have a beautiful hadith for even our Muslim brother and even non-Muslim. Look at our deen. The Prophet said, when you get angry, what should you do? Make wudu. Take water and do ablution with water. Why is that? Because this is a blowing of the shaitan, and the shaitan are created from fire, and the only thing that extinguishes fire is water. But subhanAllah. So we know that this is the characteristic. So back to Iblis. So Iblis disobeyed. He got kicked out of Jannah, misled Adam. They both came to earth now. When he came to earth, the gang on earth were shayateen.
Yeah, they're already there.
So anyone who disobey is dropped from the level of being a jinn or called a jinn to be called shaitan. So shaitan is a description of rebellions.
So the jinn is a general term for that creation, but once they become rebellious, they're called shayateen.
We have a lot of non-Muslims. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We're all called humans. We're called Muslim. They're called Christian. Here you go. Same thing. So jinn are category. The one who obeys in the Quran. قل أوحي إلي أنه استمع نفر من الجن. Okay. لم يطمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان. والجان من قبل خلقناه من قبل من نار السموم. وخلق الجان من مارج من نار. Every time you hear the word jinn in the Quran, you almost feel like Muslims, believers. Now, sometimes it is referred to the category. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ and humans except to worship me. إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. So this is the purpose. Now, when that purpose is not fulfilled, they are called shaitan. So every shaitan is a jinn, but not every jinn is a shaitan.
Beautiful.
So Iblis came down, he saw this gang of shayateen doing evil. What did he do? He ruled over them and he became the shaitan, the Iblis. Iblis means ablasa is to come out of fire in an anger mode to rebel against something. So he became the head. Not only the head, why they appointed him as the head? Because they all die and he doesn't. So he should rule.
So the jinn do die.
They live and die, I guess. There's no such a thing as
Jinn don't live forever or anything. Shaitan, the shaitan, Iblis, has been given that opportunity till the day of judgment. So he's living for now. He would also die, but he is living until that opportunity. But the other shayateen, the other smaller jinn, they live and die like us.
What's the evidence for that? Because a lot of people ask in the other episode, you guys are saying, I know someone who deals with jinn, or someone who has a jinn companion from the time of Rasulullah, or some Iraqi, just recently, he has a jinn that is helping him from the time of Yusuf alayhi salam, and then they're living for time. No problem. Let me tell you something. When Iblis came down, What did he ask Allah for?
Time until the day.
Why? If he would to live till the end of time, or if this is natural, that jinn lives for, then why would he ask?
Good point.
He said, قال ربي فأنظرني إلى يوم البعث. Because he knows he doesn't have that opportunity or that option to live till
The day.
the day of judgment. So he asks for it. If it was a default, then it wouldn't make sense for him to ask.
Good point.
So yes, they live, they die. Okay, how do they die? Didn't the hadith of the young man that we'll speak about when they turn into a snake, and the Prophet ﷺ, he said he killed his brother and his brother killed him? Wasn't he a jinn?
Yes.
Now, the shayateen who were fighting in the battle of Badr, why did they run away? Because they didn't want to be killed from the angels when they saw Jibreel and Iblis. He said, Inni ara ma la tara. I could see what you can't see. Why did he rush away? If they don't die. No. The angels don't.
Angels don't.
But the jinn are like humans. And that's why they are commanded like humans. They are questioned like human. They are obligated and rewarded and punished in dunya and akhirah. And that's why they get to Jannah, they get to hellfire.
That's beautiful, Sheikh. Now,
So Iblis, the word Iblis, we want to differentiate. Iblis is the head of and the ruler and the master of the shayateen from the time that he was expelled out of Jannah till the day of judgment. And that's why every day he sets his throne on water where the jinn worships him and they report to him daily. So they appointed him because of that reason, because of that power that he, or that chance to live to the day of judgment.
is the book I have لقط المرجان في أحكام الجان مع CEO Leak. And I found one thing very interesting, and I really would like to get your obviously your knowledge, that Allah bless you, and to share with people, is the different types of jinn. Like we just think jinn, right? But there are ifrit min al-jinn, right? There are khubat al-khaba'it min al-jinn. So what are the different types of jinn, and what are their different abilities?
So we have jinn, where they discuss the creatures that are created from fire. Shayateen, the devils, or the one who rebel. Then we have Qareen, which is very important to talk about because we got over 100 messages. I actually read you're talking about, we have, I think we reached 900 messages on that, but I almost read almost a lot of.
Subhanallah.
Talk about the Qareen. Talk more about the Qareen. Qareen is an assigned shaitan for every individual whose job is to stay with you from the time you're born till you die, who knows everything about you, even your thoughts, and he is on one side of the scale, and you have another Qareen from the angels. So you're appointed to Qareen.
Qareen from the angels or jinn?
Qareen from angels and Qareen from the jinn, who is the shaitan. So he's not a good. When we say the word jinn, we're always referring to good jinn, or someone who's practicing or religious or a believer. When we say the word shaitan, we're saying a jinn who rebel. Here you go, listen.
So from a rebellious jinn.
Rebellious jinn and an angel.
Okay.
You have two Qareen. وقال قرينه, this is the first one. وقال قرينه ربنا ما أطغيته ولكن كان في ضلال البعيد قال لا تختصموا لدي وقد قدمت إليكم بالوعيد ما يبدل القول لدي وأنا الطريق. لا, the first one, no. The first one, وقال قرينه هذا ما لدي عتيد. It's the angel. ألقي في جهنم كل كفار. Sent in Jahannam. That's the first Qareen. قال قرينه, there's two Qareen in Surah Qaf. I want people to go back to Surah Qaf and read the Tafsir. The first Qareen is the angel Qareen, who commands you to do good, who encourages you to do good, who makes istighfar for you in your sleep. You know, that's your Qareen from the angels. Okay, now you have a Qareen from the shaitan. Now, both Qareen are always working against each other. But the angel Qareen doesn't fight or cause problem to the shaitan Qareen. But the shaitan Qareen causes a problem to the angel and causes a problem to you.
The angel is just trying to do good.
That's it. There, and command you to do good.
We have a guardian angel, you could say.
Yes.
SubhanAllah. And what's amazing is you hear all this, you were giving the evidences from the Quran and Sahih Ahadith. But a lot of these concepts are also understood by Western audience without even knowing this. For example, guardian angel. Like, we'd have an angel that's trying to advise us towards good. We used to always see these cartoons as children where you'd have a devil on one shoulder and a
with the and then the angel with
that's Hollywood, but the concept is true.
Yes, I don't know. Yes, and the Quran, Surah Qaf, because if both were Qurana of the shayateen, then the ayat would not make sense.
Yeah, of course. I mean, one is an angel guiding you towards good. One is
What you see in movies is 100% true as the concept, not the picture.
Subhanallah. Because they got that concept a lot of them from Islam or from practical what they saw.
But they happen in their books. There's interest lawyer. So these are the Qari. So what's the problem with the Qari? Before we get into the types of shit. The problem with the Qari, number one, he knows you.
Very well. So you better than Facebook and what?
Better than he knows your thoughts.
So how?
He knows what you're thinking of. Allah gave him that power to a point. That's why when we go to a fortune teller, again, people who had the comments, you should not go to a fortune teller. If you go, the least that you're committing, if it's not shirk, your salah is not accepted for 40 nights, 40 days you still have to pray. When they read your hand and they tell you, how do they know? How do they communicate? They communicate with your qareen. Your qareen sells you out. Easy. For McDonald's number one, burger with the fries. The easiest thing. Your qareen is like, they're willing to sell you out for the cheapest price. So he reports your life. How do the magicians know about you and your parents and your family? What you did, which school, how you lost things in seconds. And this is the first time. And some people are what? When they go and they hear these things about their life, they start believing in the magician. If he says the truth once, he lies 100 times. Where does he get my information? My qareen. My qareen reports to him. Your qareen starts enmity from minute number one.
That's very important. Sometimes people say, oh, I went to this Sufi sheikh and he was talking to Jinn and he told me all this information and it came true. Well, that doesn't mean they're on the haqq. No. Right? That you should not be dealing with Jinn. You should not be getting that. And if they tell you the truth once, they're going to lie to you 100 times.
As Rasulullah already told us, if you believe them, you disbelieve in the Quran.
And those people that think that reading horoscopes, for example, is harmless, or going to a palm reader as a joke, like sometimes people walk on the beach in New York or Jersey or LA and you see those little palm readers and I just want to go for fun. But that can cause, even if you don't believe in it, that can cause you that your salah is not accepted for 40 days. Yes. And you still have to pray.
You have to pray.
And if you believe it, the Virgo is going to happen on the Pisces.
And what Allah has revealed. Subhanallah.
I mean, how serious is that? And I want you guys to share this video if you know people that may be falling into this, because in Muslim countries, in the newspapers, they have it. And people talk, and I was shocked, and I'm not talking about any particular country, in multiple Muslim countries where I saw the hand on a billboard and a palm reader has a whole office and they do sihr and magic.
And a lot of it has to do with Jinn.
May Allah,
a lot of us practices have to do with Jinn.
May Allah bless the land of Saudi Arabia. I mean, nobody's perfect. But one thing that I love is they still put to death the magicians.
And that's why a lot of when we get to if we have the time to get to magic part, remind me to speak about even the opinion of the scholars that you could treat magic with magic. And I'll speak about it openly today, inshallah, if we have the time. So back to the qareen part, inshallah. So the qareen part.
So you gotta stay tuned for this. For the later part of the podcast, we're gonna get into this,
inshallah. The qareen part. Yeah. So this is your qareen. How do I protect myself from my qareen? By doing good actions, by being closer to Allah, by increasing my connection with my angel qareen. The good qareen, so he could help me more. He could encourage me more. Weakening the hadith in hadith Sahih Bukhari, that hadith Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, that the Prophet gave a description of the believer shaitan and the disbeliever shaitan. And I mean a believer who's assigned to shaitan and the disbeliever who's assigned to shaitan. He said the shaitan who's assigned to a believer would be looked weak, messy hair, rusty clothes, very weak in the body, like body shape. The disbeliever, well fed, nice clothes, food. So they question each other. The believer says to the disbeliever, why do you look like that? The shaitan who's with the believer says, when he eats, he says, Bismillah. When he drinks, he says Bismillah. When he clothes, he says Bismillah. When he goes out, so I don't eat, I don't drink, I don't clothe. Like I give you, you're weakening the shaitan. So you weakening the shaitan that he wouldn't be able to whisper more to you. On the other hand, we're the one who's feeding our shaitan. So that's the qareen. Qareen, you have to be careful of your qareen. And that's why even the ruqa, even the raqi, I always tell them when I train my students and I said, if you're going to do ruqya, remember your qareen could expose you. So your qareen could tell. So we came to gathering. Be careful because you wanna be exposed in front of people. And they lie a lot of time. But if you keep doing certain things, they could say it and do it. So this is the qareen part. And the qareen is the most we should worry about. We should worry about how to defeat. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam قال كل إنسان قرين. And hadith, the famous hadith part that she ran after him when he went to the grave and all that. He came back. She said, "Awjaki shaitan." She said, "Do I have a shaitan as son?" He said, "Every son of Adam has a shaitan assigned to him from the time that he is born." She said, "Even you, Ya Rasulullah?" He said, "Even me." ولكن الله عانني عليه فأسلم. So Aslam here, the ulama said Aslamu or Aslama. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped me to defeat him, that he became Muslim, or that I am saved from him. From studying hadith, Aslama. I mean, with the dhamma, Aslamu. Now, I am saved from him makes more sense from that. Because there's no such a thing as shaitan becoming Muslim. One of our mashayikh used to say, when you enter the masjid, you say Bismillah. When you make adhan, the shaitan runs away. When you make iqamah, the shaitan runs away. With Rasulullah said gas. He's releasing the adhan, and then he comes back to the salah. So one of the brother told the shaykh and said, "Why you guys are trying to get the shaitan out? Let him sit in with the other, maybe you'll benefit." No, they don't. They're not gonna benefit like that. The shayateen are devils who are going to hellfire. Done. So this is the qareen part. Somebody asked, how does your qareen know your thoughts? Again, the ability of the shaitan is beyond the capacity of a human. So you wouldn't understand that. And why are we so surprised? Seriously, why are the comments of certain people, and I know those people, they don't accept anything, even if you bring them evidence. Why are you so surprised when your own phone now could read your thoughts?
How?
They have now technology where if you're thinking of something, it shows out in your feed. How? And subhanAllah, we say to we believe.
It's interesting. A lot of people have this problem with the concept of jinn, right? I work in medical devices, and I deal with a lot of hospitals. I deal with a lot of doctors. I do a lot of medicines that are being put on the market for treatment for certain ailments, including mental health ailments. And I can tell you, many times there'll be a person who will be going through some kind of a situation that doctors cannot understand.
Yes.
Things they're doing are impossible. And what they do is they just make a general diagnosis because they don't want to admit that there's something they don't understand. So they just say he has inflammation, he has a bipolar disorder, even though he doesn't have the characteristics of bipolar disorder. And many times you'll find people that even though they're hospitals under care, under review, they have marks on their body that are unnatural, that they could not have made, they wouldn't reach those places. So there's a lot that even medical science cannot explain, and they just kind of brush it under the rug, but that's a reality.
Yes.
Many people who you see as homeless and speaking to themselves may really have mental health issues. Many of them may be speaking to jinn that you don't realize it.
Now, I saw we had a non-Muslim person that we read on, and he was possessed, non-Muslim. So that's what Jinn, and he was cured. Alhamdulillah. He studies in Medina. He finished his study, became Muslim after he was cured. Allah, and Quran helped him. I have a sister that I read myself. This is something I witnessed, and when I say I witnessed, no one should be like, this is a lie. A lie to you, no problem. You could.
Or something I've seen, man.
I'm showing myself. When I say there was an accident on the road, but you drove by and you didn't see it, we're both correct.
Right, because you didn't see it.
We would see it. This sister, and she was not even possessed with jinn. It was evil eye. That she lost weight in a crazy way. She went like, let's say, I can't remember the number, but let's say from 140 to, we're talking about 80. And the doctors were like, we did everything. We had her on IV, and a Chinese doctor in a hospital in San Francisco, living till today, and her father is there, told them, non-Muslim, not even practicing any religion, he said, my grandfather used to do what is called spiritual healing. Try to look for a spiritual healer. And it was evil eye. Because she went to a wedding, our sisters, of course, who goes to, they know, she went to a wedding, she was, fully dressed, newlywed. She was married herself, newlywed. She went to that wedding. After they were like a small gather of family members only, she took off her abaya, starts exposing her body. Those sisters start commenting on her body. Look at how this look. And then, subhanAllah, it was evil eye. And she almost died because of evil eye. After we treated her, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. The treatment will come later. We'll show you how to, because people asked a lot about evil eye and
Yeah.
So Qareen, we're dealt with Qareen, donkey. Now, categories of Jinn. 1, Jinni. That's the creation. 2, Awamir. We spoke about it last time. Those are resident Jinn in houses.
So just awamir.
Awamir are resident Jinn who lives in houses. They do not interact with you. You don't interact with them. They're living in their own space unless you trigger them or you cause them harm. Triggering them, like we mentioned, music was a big thing. Or, wallahi, just after the talk, I had a sister with the session, and she told me that she used to listen to music, she used to sing in front of a mirror, she used to dance a lot in front of the mirror. And I asked her, I said, I know you do that. She said, how do you know? I said, just tell me, be honest. And she was very open, and she said, yes. I said, that's how you attracted the jinn in your houses. No Quran, no play, and then you have the replacement of music. Then you have a ruh, the spirit, who are assigned for children. So spirits, jinn, are assigned to harm or to stay or to cause conflicts to children. Sometimes you sell to our children, and it's easy protection, so don't be scared. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Surah al-Fatiha in your hand, Ayatul Kursi in your hand, the 4 Qul, Bismillah alladhi la yadurru ma'a ismihi shay'un fil ardi wa fis samaa'i wa as-sami'u 'alim. The dua, wipe over your children, they're protected. Done. Is a symbol. كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يبكي الحسن والحسين بالمعوذات آية الكرسي. Before they leave, he would wipe over their body. He would read as the hadith of Asma and the hadith of Fatima radiallahu anha. So this is the spirit. And then you have a shaitan, who are the rebellions now. Okay? A shayateen. And then you have al-marid. Al-marid is the devil of the jinn.
What is that?
Devil means that he got to a category, he's beyond evil.
Oof.
So he's not just a regular shaitan. It's like degrees.
Yeah.
You have elementary, bachelor, master, PhD. So now shaitan, jinni, shaitan, marid, PhD is ifrit.
So now, ifrit is the worst.
Ifrit is the worst. قال عفريت من الجن أنا آتيك به قبل أن تقم مقام. Farid are
in the faith. And after you just recited, I want to make sure, Arabic, I want to make sure they understand. But Allah speaks about Sulaiman alayhi salam,
yes,
who have power over the jinn.
yes.
And Ifrit min al-jinn said, before you get up, I will bring
Before you finish your gathering,
before you get up from the gathering,
then I'll bring the throne,
the whole throne of
Balqis from Yemen to Galassis.
So they have that kind of power.
They have, and they're able to transfer their airport. We're not surprised today because an airplane could do the same. What I find more interesting
than that is the one who had ilm al-kitab was able to do it faster than the jinn.
Some of the narration said that he was also free, that he had knowledge of the book. Some said no, he was just a human being. He was a human being who knew the great name of Allah.
Yes.
So he called upon Allah by his great name, and he had that power. They didn't specify, but some of the tafsir said that he was also Ifrit. But Ifrit who was religious.
Interesting.
And Sulaiman, we already said, to be very clear, Sulaiman has nothing to do with magic. Sulaiman had nothing to do with sihr. Sulaiman has nothing to do with jinn. Sulaiman, Allah gave him power to control everything. Okay? And he made the dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him a kingdom that he did not give to anyone before or anyone after.
Subhanallah.
Because people are talking about Sulaiman and the jinn and all that. So they always, ascribe Sulaiman to jinn because he was able to talk to them, he was able to see them, he was able to communicate with them. قال الله عز وجل ولسليمان الريح تجري بأمره رخاء حتى تصب والشياطين كل بناء وغواص وآخرين مقرنين في الأصفاد هذا عطاؤنا ثمن أو أمسك بغير حساب. قال ربي هب لي من لدنك ملكا لا ينبغي أحد من من بعدي إنك أنت الوهاب. قال فسخرنا له الريح تجري بأمره رخاء حيث أصاب. We gave him the wind to blow and to run. And then the shayateen. كل بناء له غواص. There are people who are building. There are people who dive into the ocean to bring him pearls and gold and things like that. And that's why he was able to control the jinn, but like he was able to talk to birds, he was able to talk to animals. So that's what I say. So as Ifrit is the magicians, they are three categories when they use jinn. They use shayateen, they use married, they use Ifrit. The only ones who use Ifrit are the worst of the magicians. Because the Afarit are not to be controlled by anybody.
They're powerful.
They're very powerful and they have very high conditions and standards and sacrifices that you have to get to, to a point where you have to pray to them. That magician we spoke about in the dream interpretation, he says by Allah, he used to say Allahu Akbar in the salah where people see him. All he says is Allahu Akbar from his salah. Everything else in the salah, from the reading and the recitation and ruku' and sujood, what? That there's a shaitan who would sit on a chair in front of him. He could see him, others can't, in a form of a human being, not in his form. But while others can't see him, he would make sujood on his foot, and he would place his foot on his head, and he would say certain adhkar that he Afarit are not someone that we deal with on a daily basis. Afarit are very powerful. They have power beyond what we could even imagine. We cannot even understand or even limit it. Our mind's so limited to think about their power. So these are the categories of jinn.
Allah protect it. I mean, Sheikh, now we get this question on a lot of the comments with magic. They want to transition a little bit about the magic as well, because a lot of people have interests. What about magic and qadar? Because we believe in qadar, we believe Allah has written the good, bad, all of it's written. And if somebody does magic on you, does that mean it overrides the qadar?
Well, magic is qadr. If you're afflicted with magic, that's your qadr. But every magic is appointed to a jinn. So something, magic, sihr, are words, as Ibn Qudama mentioned, Ibn Hajar, others, are words that are spelled out with knots that are tied to cause mental and physical harm to the individual.
Allah protect us.
So certain words, certain spells that is read. That's why. And the worst of magic, if it's spelled out by a female, it's more harmful than a male.
SubhanAllah. So,
you know how?
that's what exactly I want to understand.
The Nabi ibn al-Asam who did magic to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He did magic in the comb, and he dipped his hair. He commanded his daughters to blow in the nuts. Now, النفاثات. Look what Allah said. The female who blow into the nuts. Female magicians are worse.
The nuts.
The nuts. And his daughters were the one who did the nuts for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But even though he was the magician,
that's so beautiful.
But he made his daughters do it. That's what Allah said. Subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمِن شَرِّ not a nafith or a naffatati fil uqad, the one who blows into the nuts. And that's why if you find nuts, I just had a picture, subhanallah, someone sent it to me. She found paper and it has writing in it, and then it has hair that are tied into nuts. And those nuts are blown into it. Like they're blown into it for sure. So when you want to undo it, when you read, you cut it off or you cut the nuts off, it releases magic. So magic is your qadar. Rasulullah was afflicted with magic. If magic is your qadar, then it could cause you physical harm, mental harm, stress. But the problem with magic that it's assigned to a jinn. So when a magician does magic and they place it somewhere, they appoint a jinn to take care of it and protect it, to stay next to it so no one could get rid of it. And that's why when you start reading on someone, you hear them speaking different voices, passing out. Why? Because that jinn is present. So it doesn't mean that the jinn possessed them, but the jinn is present to stop them from getting rid of the harm. So yes, magic is if it's a qadr of Allah. But is everything magic?
No, it's one of the problems we see. People blame everything on magic or ayn or
no. Ayn is worse.
Ayn is
Subhanallah. Ayn, we need a whole lecture on Ayn. Believe me, Ayn is like, but Ayn, evil eye, nazr. That's what they call it, okay? Evil eye or nazr. Rasulullah sallallahu قال العين حق. Evil eye is true. تدخل الرجل القبر. It could lead a person to the grave. Could cause death. والجمل القدر. Like your car nowadays, what you ride, it could cause someone to look at you, break your watch. How? I asked one of the magicians once, and I said to him, I want to understand how they look at Sheikh man and break his glass, his watch or his glasses. How they? He says when a person is afflicted with evil eye, and you look at something, it's not the eyes, it's the shaitan that comes and hits the thing with it. So when the shaitan hits it, it makes you do what? It breaks the glass or breaks the watch or all that. So evil eye is more dangerous. More dangerous than magic. It could cause death. But it's easier to treat.
all right. So let's get into all the treatments here. How do we treat? First thing, we want to talk about protection or treatment, because you said there's prevention,
Yes.
protection,
Yes.
and then there's cure.
Prevention is adkar. Prevention is Surah Al-Baqarah. Prevention is your salah. Prevention is your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's prevention. Now, if you fall into harm, or if you feel there's something going on, then you have to go into treatment. Okay? So protect yourself ahead of time.
So for the people watching, because a lot of people they get like depressed from this stuff. You shouldn't. Like if you are up on your azkar, the sunnah azkar, morning, evening, after salah, before going to sleep, after kursi, I mean, like the Sheikh mentions, then the 3 qul, for example, and then wiping off your body. In another riwayat, the 4th qul is also mentioned, right? Then you are protecting yourself. I mean, you already have that protection. And prevention, like when you recite Surah Al-Baqarah in your house, as a Sahih Hadith mentioned, the jinn cannot stay there. So 3 days you read Surah Al-Baqarah. I mean, to recite Al-Fatiha, to read anything from the Ruqya, from the Sunnah, that is established from the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So those things are there. But if you're already affected,
It depends what you're afflicted with. Are you afflicted with black magic? Are you afflicted with evil eye? Are you afflicted with what are your
I think for us, all magic is evil. I don't know, white magic.
There's a black magic is the worst. Black magic is a knowledge. Sihr aswa is one of the worst practiced magic, and only few people know how to practice it.
So that's something interesting, because in America, usually they have this idea of like good magic and then black magic is evil. But Islamically, that's not it. Magic is all evil.
The magic is also how good. We're not talking about tricks. We're talking about practice of words and spells that has blowing and nuts that causes harm. I'm not talking about cards.
The knocks.
No, I'm not talking about playing cards.
No.
I'm not talking about a trick where you dip your pen out of your pocket and put it in someone else's.
It's also not permissible, right?
But this is like hand tricks. Hand tricks. Hand tricks that's in your own. I'm talking about magic. Magic that people sit, they read certain afkar, certain spells to cause people harm. They write it on papers and they fold it and they give it to people.
As if sometimes people come and they say, okay, I want this girl to fall in love with me, or I want this man to marry me. And they go to a sheikh or rafir, who writes them taweez, Morana or whatever, a taweez. What's the hukam on that?
That's haram. And nashratu shirk. The Prophet ﷺ said that. That's haram. If you go and they bring in that love, they're bringing in jinn to your life. They might cause that connection, but that connection is going to be temporary. There's going to be more harm to it. That when the jinn are presented in your life, you're going to brought them. When you go to a raqi or to go to someone and they write ta'weez, قال من علق تميمة فقد أشرك. If you hang an amulet, ta'weez is an amulet. If you hang it, you disbelieve. You are a mushrik. You committed shirk. You should not get into that. You shouldn't have papers on the wall because of that. You shouldn't have things in your pocket or around your neck or in your hand or in your purse or in your houses for protection and all that. Even if it's Quran.
Evil Quran.
Yani even the opinion to stay safe, it is better. Even though we have some hadith, Abdullah ibn Amr and others used to hang Ayatul Kursi on their children and all that. I would say preventing that nowadays is sadd al-dara'i, to block the means of getting into shirk. So the cure. But before we get to the cure, we have to speak. We forgot to speak about some things about the jinn, because people nowadays they ask this question that I'm gonna relate to answer. Jinn, seeing them in their actual form is not possible. That's not possible. Ibn Shafi'i said, Ibn Kathir mentioned this, and Ibn Hajar mentioned it in Fath al-Bari, and Ibn Nawawi mentioned, and Shaykh Rahmah قال, whoever claims, Ibn Taymiyyah also, whoever claims that they see jinn in their actual form, they are fasiq, they're fustab, disobedience, and their witness is rejected. We don't accept their witnesses. Tamam? Shahadat uratu. No. Can you see jinn if they transform? Yes. Can you be dealing with jinn? Yes. They draft for
The original.
no, they transform into mainly snakes, and most of snakes are hayatu shayateen, hayatun aqarib. Most of snakes are jinn and shayateen. Black dogs, black, completely black. قال Abu Hurairah,
Was it never like patchy?
no, the black, full black. Abu Hurairah was asked if it was in my hand, Rasul said I would kill all black dogs if they were not a nation. He said, why is that? He said, because they are the shayateen, or the devil of dogs. Yeah, and the shayateen from dogs. So black dogs mainly, not black cats. Don't worry about black cats. No, let them run in a black dogs. Or human beings. These are the main forms. Can they transform into something else? Yes. But the three main are these three.
So if a jinn, let's say, transforms into one of these,
Yes.
could he be killed?
Yes, because they're controlled in the body. Rasul Sallam, he said, Harriju talatan. You should say Bismillah 3 times to a snake if you see a snake, or else you kill it. The companion who came home and saw a snake on his bed, when he killed it, his wife was outside. When he killed the snake killed him.
SubhanAllah.
Somebody asked me in there, babe. Okay, I just want to say something while we're doing this second episode. Please, if you have a concern or a question, get clarification. There's no need to accuse. We're part of the Quran and Sunnah. There's no need to say this is nonsense. Who told you the awamir? What's the evidence? Before you say it, if you send me a message of Sheikh Atman, we'll respond online. Well, I would respond to my Instagram at all time. Yet, where's the evidence? Rasul Sallam, he said, Inna fil madinati awamir. He used the word. He said, you have brothers and sisters from the jinn who lives among you. If you see them, don't try to harm them. How are they going to see them? The young boy who was married, he saw his wife outside. He said, why are you standing outside? She said, there's a cobra on my bed. So he went inside, he took his sword out, and he killed the snake, the cobra. What happened to him? He died right away. So when they went to Rasulullah, he said, قَتَلَ أَخَاهُ وَقَتَلَ. It's like a fight. He killed his brother. So that jinn was Muslim. That he fought bad for his life because he was there. So how did it transfer? They transform through spills. And that's why sometimes they can't come out of it.
So they can't just do it willy-nilly on their own.
No, that's true. There's some jinn. من الجن من يطير. There's jinn who fly. The Prophet said,
Do all jinn fly?
no, The Prophet said, some of the jinn flies. They appear and disappear. Some of them do. Some, they turn into snakes and scorpions and others. Umar said, the way they turn into snakes or other objects is they use certain spells, like magicians use spells. And when they turn, they sometimes don't know the spell to come back. So they're locked into that body. The evidence for that, Hadith in Bukhari and others, Abu Hurairah, Ubay ibn Ka'b, and the Sahaba, who saw the man stealing from the sadaqat different occasions. When they caught them, they didn't disappear. Why didn't they disappear? Because when they caught them, they were locked into a human shape. So anybody could be jinn. Shaykh Uthman, one person told me, this opens up a door that accusing everybody.
Why?
Because you could just be saying that everybody could be a jinn that we're dealing with. Yes, possible. We don't know. I don't know who said. You don't know. There's a lot of narration on this hadith that Sulaiman alayhi salam locked the jinn and the devils, the shayateen, into the depth of the ocean. They would be soon released. Now, this is not dangerous so far. This is not dangerous.
I'm saying this soon.
Next is worse. No. They will come in forms of scholars and teachers of Quran, teaching people wrong interpretation.
Like holes in the narrative.
Now, when you hear about Hussein and other people were shocked. I'm not shocked.
Interesting.
There is human beings today, and I'm saying it here on pub. There is human beings today who are not created humans.
They're jinn.
They're shayateen, devils, who transformed into a human being to live among us as a human, and they're doing everything that is devil.
Is there a way to figure out?
Very hard.
Very hard.
Very hard. But from their behavior. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, shayateen al-insi, al-jinn wal-ins. That we have al-ins or jinn, sorry. Shayateen jinn, al-ins or jinn. So he said there are devils from ins and jinn. When you say, Shaykh Uthman, this kid is a devil, what do you mean by that?
Maybe they're doing evil actions. They're doing things that are not possible.
But they're human beings.
They're human
So you're saying they're characteristic
or of shayateen.
out of the devil. Good. No, I'm not saying that now. They will come teach Quran. They'll become teachers of Quran. Can you imagine? But he says they interpret the Quran in their way to deceive people. Now we have shayateen who are in power. We have shayateen who are in controlling things, politics, economy, business. I'm talking about shayateen.
Trump kind of looks a little weird to me.
Well, that's it. You know, if you want to play it bad, look at some of these people. You don't know who their father is. You don't know who their mother is. You don't know where they were born. All you hear is from the age he's 20 on, you know about his life. But what about that before that?
Good point. Unless if you look at Epstein, maybe Epstein was a jinn.
Wallahi, Allah knows when I look at this person, the first impression I get is a shaitan.
I got goosebumps.
Shaitan, look, shaitan.
This is some deep stuff we're getting into. Shit.
And I'm gonna have inshallah a podcast very soon with one of the brothers on this topic mainly because the hadith are very clear, and Rasul made it as a sign for the day of judgment. It will look our Prophet sallallahu.
So I mean, it is possible. I mean, we're not saying for sure.
Oh no,
That's
saying about
in Epstein, for example.
We're not mentioning need. We're not individual, but we're saying there are people who live among us, who live as humans. They get married, they have children. Because they're humans now. They were shayateen.
With a spell.
Created a shayateen. They transformed in a way that they came. Those people, they wouldn't have history. You wouldn't know that they have a picture when they were a baby, which school they went. We don't have information. It's like someone saying, I graduated from the Islamic University of the Moon. Where's that at? We don't know. And this person out of nowhere, he has power.
Yeah, but I mean, even Epstein, like, I don't really understand how he got to where he was because he was a math teacher. He was a nobody. He was like just a guy and a teacher, and then suddenly he's a billionaire, right?
Could be that the shayateen are helping him to get to that, or if he's a shaitan himself.
Yeah.
There's series now, Egyptian series that came out now. Subhanallah, even though I don't recommend people watching it, but it speaks about this, and a lot of it is actually real. A lot of it is a reality. People are profitable.
I know that the Mossad and the Israeli agents and stuff helped him, but they've been very involved in magic themselves.
I don't doubt that some of these people are shayateen. I'm not calling them devils. I'm calling them shaitan.
Yeah.
A real shaitan who is just doing everything evil in a form of a human being, just to get things through, not to whisper to someone else. Like there is humans who are worse than the shayateen, and the shayateen are whispering to them. But there's some shayateen who are doing the job themselves, just to get it done. So this is that shaitan. The second part, the people, if again witnessing it, the only three that sees the shaitan, a donkey, and that's why when you hear a donkey braise, you should say "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir."
It's very interesting. Animals that can see
Donkeys. Of course, if Sulaiman alayhi salam, according to most narration, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Other than that, no. The angels could see the shayateen, and shayateen could see angels. Human beings were out of this.
So we would never see a jinn in their actual form. But we can see them if they're transformed into something else.
Yes. So, and you actually see them daily without knowing or recognizing. And that's why I tell people, don't be scared. Because you're living with them and we're just moving on.
Yeah.
In Allah said, the plotting and the whispering of the shaitan, the planning of the shaitan, the power of the shaitan is very weak compared to your power, your iman. So the higher your faith is, the weaker they are.
Subhanallah.
The weaker you are in faith, they override you. So shaitan, when it comes to you, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, arda, who is he? And what was he? A shepherd. What was he? Alcoholic. What was he? Someone who practiced before Islam worshipping idols. He said, I used to make fun of myself, how I make an idol from dates and I eat it.
I get hungry.
I get hungry. That's Umar. How he transit to Umar, someone who's not known anywhere else except an ambassador of Mecca, worshipping idols, not Allah, to a man that when he walks, the shaitan takes a different route. Allahu Akbar. It's the Iman.
Iman.
Faith that Umar is number 2 after Abu Bakr in the Ummah. That if his Iman would to be scaled with everyone else, his Iman would override everyone except Abu Bakr. Get Abu Bakr out first.
And it's a beautiful point. And I want to come back to a point you made earlier because it's very valuable, that the worst of this shayateen from those that are from within the Muslim shayateen are the ones that curse the Sahaba.
Yes.
Subhanallah.
If we say we have Sunni Shi'is, we have within the Sunni we have routes that comes out, we have different groups, we have Sufis, we have Salafis, we have Tablighis, we have Jama'at, we have, and then you have Gibandis, and then you have Wadis, and you see all these branch, these all, I'm talking about these branch within Islam. I'm not gonna talk about anybody. When it comes to Jinn, it's the same exact groups and sects. Hunna tara'iqa qidat. And the worst of them are the ones who curse the Sahaba. And that's why we have to be very careful. That's why we have to be very careful. We have Jinn who study. Can we boy with them? No. Not at all. Working with the Jinn, people who say we can and we could get their help and get their support, if they don't do it willingly without you doing it, because they can help you with certain things. If not, then you have to offer sacrifice. You have
What kind of sacrifice?
anything that they ask for, and it varies. You cannot get قال الله عز وجل وأنه كان رجال من الإنس يعوذون برجال من الجن فزادوهم رهقا. There are people from the human who used to take jinn as their supporters, or they used to use them. They don't use jinn, they get their help. زادوهم, the jinn would cause them more harm. More harm of what? Stress and that. So they used to ask them for things. I will tell you, it could get to a point where they ask you to وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ يعني write the Quran with filth, stab at the Quran with filth, tingle with a bathroom, or even if you're Christian, they'll ask you to do certain things to the Bible, to disrespect whatever you believe in. Because if you disrespect what you believe in, whether it's correct or incorrect, then you get out of the connection of faith.
It's very interesting that you're saying this because I was reading recently from a non-Muslim about the Illuminati and the Mason and the structures that they have. Is one, they want you to disrespect whatever you did believe in. Meaning, if you believe in the Quran, they make you step on it. If you believe in the Bible, they make you cross it behind you, whatever. And then they have rituals where they do filthy things, and you have to sacrifice somebody from your family. And that's why, and I'm not going to mention names, but many of the famous musicians and actors, you can find somebody from their family had either died in a suspicious car accident or been killed or something like this. And that's how they move up in those ranks. So do you think that has to do with charity?
100%. And that's what the magicians always say. Magicians, they lose their kids, they lose their money if they don't obey, if they go through these routes, they request certain things from them. And when you say, what's the point if you disbelieve in the Bible? Isn't the Bible already being corrupted and all that? When you disbelieve in faith, you're controlled by the shayateen. Now that faith being correct or incorrect is still holding on to something.
That's the thing.
You have aqidah.
Yeah, with the Illuminati or the Masons and all that, these secret societies, they want you to be controlled by them to the point that nothing is sacred to you.
Exactly.
Your own family, your own children. I mean, some of the rituals, and again, I like to read a lot, so I was reading, I just got into it one day, non-Muslim. So I'm not talking about like Muslim writings. People who had been involved in these things got out of it, and many of them ended up getting killed mysteriously. But they wrote that they would do satanic rituals. They would worship jinn, which again, we know that it's jinn because of what we read. They may not realize it, but they said these were not humans. They were not angels. They were different creation. And they would come and tell us what to do. And you would have to do rituals, including sacrifices. You would sacrifice things that you love. They would figure out who is the most beloved to you until you sacrifice that.
Yes.
They would get to know what's your belief and until you sacrifice that. And as you would do that, you would move up in the 33 degrees and all that in their ranks. And they had, I saw pictures in this book. They had like bones. They had like very devilish things that they would use, a lot of different types of stars of David, so on, that they would use in their rituals. In fact, the Star of David is not a Jewish symbol. Historically, this was actually, as many historians have said, the Star of Baal, which was a false deity. And that's one of the reasons that people brought this back, was to bring a worship of this false god. It's got nothing to do with Dawood
I mentioned
or even
every book of magic. So every book of magic,
That's very
every spell, every tawi, every major talsum, every Sulaymani tariqa they call it. That's what it's called. It has nothing to do with Sulaiman. قالوا اتبعوا واتيتوا الشياطين عملوا كثيرا وما كفر سليمان ولكن الشياطين كفروا. Sulaiman did not disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These people are practicing real magic. One of the journey of the magicians, and I tell people to go back and listen to him directly from YouTube or listen to my lecture on it, that he had to be isolated. I will believe that he was memorizing Quran, but before he did that, he had to be isolated for 40 nights. Those 40 nights, he does not shower, he does not use water, he uses old filth, he curses the mu'adhin when he hears the adhan, he steps on the Quran day and night, he's relieving himself in the area, he's causing all the haram masturbation and all of this on the mushaf and all that. He came out of 40 days, he said, smelling like dead donkey. That's how he said, but they told him, we are freeing you from all evil by doing all these things, and now you went beyond the level of certainty where you're gonna have to pray, you're gonna have to fast, you're gonna have to give zakah, you're gonna have to do everything, and we will be helping you. And they were helping him for over 20 years. That the jinn were at his service. They were not at his service. He has already done so much of disbelief and insulting the Quran, disrespecting Allah and His deen, that now that's what they want from him. Shirk. So a lot of people, sister asked me yesterday, she said, what do jinn get from me? The brother didn't ask for money, the Raqi. He did not request anything from me. He did not ask me to do anything. So what do they get out of it? I said, the shirk.
Yeah.
If they get you to rely on them, then they wouldn't charge you money.
Iblis, the shaitan, what's his goal? It's for us to do shirk and go to Jahannam.
That's it.
So if they can get you to do kufr, that's why, as the hadith of Sahabi whose wife was having a pain in her eye, and she went to the Jewish magician because she didn't know, and she said, well, it got better. She said, this was a shaitan that was messing with your eye, and he stopped because now you did something that takes you outside the fold of Islam.
Of course, that's what the shaitan do now.
Exactly.
So when you say they don't charge me money, it's not about money.
Yeah.
It's not about the session. It's that they want something out of you. They want your heart to be connected to other than Allah.
Yeah.
Where you do tawakkul on other than Allah, that is a success to the shaitan more than you paying $1,000. So when you say they didn't charge or they didn't do anything, that's not true. So be very careful.
So yeah, that's a great transition into the next point, which is if somebody is affected by sahar, by ma'e, or jinn, of course we know the sharia is the right way to deal with it, but some people in our desperation, maybe they want to go to a magician to get rid of the magic that's on them. Can they use magic to get rid of magic?
This is their opinion. 2 scholars in Islam have mentioned it. And I will say, with all their respect, may Allah forgive them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, they're in Jannah, they're great scholars. But I always say they have never seen a magician. It's all theory. Because in their time, if a magician were to show and appear and show what he does, he will be killed.
Yeah.
Because that's the Islamic ruling there. So they never actually witness what a magician do. And if they go to ask a magician, that means he's known. So therefore he'll be killed. So they never got exposed to a magician. So it's all theory. Can we? The question is, how would you get magic to get rid of magic? by doing what I just said.
A'udhu billah.
How are you going to give jinn kufr?
Then what's the point of that?
So the idea of you getting to the jinn, like somebody said in the video, how is Sheikh Ammar saying that he speaks to the jinn? I never said I speak to the jinn. I never said I talk to the jinn. I said when I recite on someone that they're possessed and the jinn is present to speak on their behalf, then we start communicating, we talk. But I don't go for that purpose. Like I'm not gonna go to talk to a jinn, so bring a sister who has jinn or a brother. No. I said we speak to the jinn
While you're doing the
while doing ruqya because they're there speaking to you. They're present. That's the way. So if you're telling me magic with magic and nashratu shift, the Prophet ﷺ made it very clear. You do not. And then we have another hadith. إن الله عز وجل لم يجعل شفاء أحدكم فيما حرم عليكم. So Allah did not make you pure in what He has forbidden upon you. You cannot drink wine to be cured.
No.
He said that. So we should avoid magicians, avoid ruqa who gives you ta'wizat or certain things. Avoid all that. Do your own ruqya. I always say that. Do your own ruqya before you go to anyone. Ayatul Kursi. Get the ruqya that I already said last time. Get it. It's clipped out. Learn it. Do water, olive oil, rub your body, take a shower, be closer to Allah, go to the masjid, wear your hijab properly, connect to the Quran, and then you'll be inshallah protected and cured.
That's beautiful.
Said was asked, can we get rid of magic without finding magic? He said yes, by doing more of reading to burn it. It will take longer. And the question is, why do jinn come or they're present when you read on something? Somebody need to ask that question. Why? We have magic. Let's say somebody did magic to someone. This is
They don't know you could cut this part to it, but that's not just.
so. How do this is magic spellfishing? Okay, they fall.
For example, it's on already.
A brother's court. Okay, you put it. Okay, they bury it somewhere. Now the jinn is sitting there watching it. When you start reading, if this is done to me, you start reading, this magic kind of moves. But something is happening. It might be burned a little.
So jinn just sits there and watches out.
Oh, so the jinn is like, oh, something going on. So he comes to that person to see what's going on. He finds a rocket.
Wow.
Then they start talking. Now, if you start reading every day, here, the magic is there. It will get burned. Wallahi, a sister, and I said this story, and it's out there, and so it's well known, the story. A sister, we did reading for almost like a year or so. This sister came one day and she said, I know where the magic is. How? She did Qiyamul Layl for 15 days. Allah. And then Allah showed her in a dream, through a dream, where the magic was buried. We sent the brother to find it, and he found it, and we got rid of it. So alhamdulillah, we have the Quran, alhamdulillah, protection. Alhamdulillah, we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, alhamdulillah. Rely on all of them. Yes. May Allah protect us from shayateen insu al jinn.
Sheikh, the last thing I really want to get to, because a lot of people, when they watch these things, they kind of become uncomfortable, is when we have tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we have the yaqeen, when we have that khushu, that direct connection in our salah, we are safe from all this. Right? We don't sit around worrying about all these things. And when these things come into our life, we don't turn to magicians. We don't turn to bid'ah. We don't turn to shirk. We turn to the people of knowledge like yourself and others who, in the light of the Quran and authentic ahadith, can help us with these kinds of things. Because the reality is, we have germs around us all day. Right now on these surfaces, even if you have a very clean house, there are bacteria. And those bacteria can harm us. So we shouldn't get, germophobic or OCD and just be like, I'm going to wear gloves and I'm going to wear plastic all day. No, you have to build your immune system. You have to, if you get sick, you go to a good doctor. But otherwise, as long as you're healthy and your body's fit and you're in good shape and you're eating healthy, these germs can't do anything to you. So if you get freaked out by the fact that there is magic in the world and there is this evil and there is jinn, then it's no different from bacteria and germs and all this in the air. Rather, if you keep your body healthy physically for the germs, then you keep your ruh, your soul healthy spiritually with the Quran, staying away from things like music, staying away from things like dancing in front of mirrors, staying away from things like singing in the bathrooms, and these kinds of things that can attract the jinn, attract these evil things, and staying strong on the Quran, your aqidah, your da'wah, your dua, everything good that you bring into your life, Allah will protect you. Otherwise, so many people, they see the videos of shuyukh and ulama and durus, and they want to give them ayn, and they want to do sihr on them, they want to send jinn after them, but Allah protects them.
True.
So we need to be strong on this deen. Just give us some final advice.
The jinn protection, or the
Some people live all their life never being exposed to shaitan or jinn once. How? They just move on. The idea will occupy your mind if you start thinking about it too much, then you start seeing it too much. Subhanallah. And if you start connecting everything to it, then you would live a miserable life. If something happened, get a treatment. I say to people, when they say I have nether or even, khalas, olive oil every night on your body that has ruqya, water that has ruqya every day. If you shower with it for 1 month, every single night and every single day in the morning, done. Evil is gone. Move on. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Very simple. That's how that's as simple as that. If you're afflicted with black magic, you need some more treatment. Go to someone who is, reliable, someone that you could trust. After doing your own ruqya, your own I tell people now, I want you to do treatment for 25 days. No, I want you to read ruqya. Hold on. Just do that treatment for 25 days. You might not need me. And when you come, you have already done your homework. You already have done your preparation. So when I read, it's much easier. The effect is much more. So don't let your mind be occupied by these things. They exist. We're not saying they're not there. We already affirm they exist. Shayateen exist. The devils exist. But we have the Quran. We have a powerful weapon that we could use against them. We have tools of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and practices of the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whoever says, La ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lahu, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir, 100 times a day, is protected from all magic and poison. That if he were to eat poisonous food that day, nothing would happen to him.
Repeat that for us slowly so that people can catch it.
If you say La ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lahu, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir, 100 times. Every morning. If you eat 7 dates from Ajwa al-Medina, the black dates of Medina, you're protected.
Every day.
Every day. Okay, every morning. If you say Bismillah tawakkaltu ala Allah wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, before you leave your house, the angels will surround you. They will say you are protected, you're guided, you're safe. When you come into the house, you say Bismillah, Shayateen says, we're leaving, we can't stay. When you need to say Bismillah, we can't eat.
When you enter the bathroom, you say Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi.
These are protection. These simple action of ibadah and adhkar are your daily protection that you need. But sometimes we get too sick that we need more medicine, antibiotic. We need more medicine for the long term. Is that the case for many people? No. The case for many people is the minimum that we spoke about. Now, if you need something else, reach to someone that you trust. If you have people that you're doubting their religion, you have people that are doubting their action, you have people there that I will tell you right now. See, this is something you take for people who are watching. Wallah, if someone sees you just by looking at you and says you have jinn or you have sihr or something like that, wallahi, it's a lie. So, who would know? Yani Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the hadith, the brother asked, where this practice? Then Rasulullah, when they brought the young boy and he read to him, he opened his mouth and he said, Ukhruj adu Allah. He said, come out, the enemy of Allah. That, the boy, he said, he woke up, very healthy. What did he say as soon as he woke up? Why did you bring me here? What am I doing in the house of Rasulullah?
No
idea what was going on. Rasulullah was reading on him. So, yes, Rasulullah didn't practice that upon certain people. But was that a normal practice? The women, he said, would you be patient or would they make dua and enter Jannah? It could be a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be strong. There's no such a thing as he saw me and he said, I have this. Who is he? Oh, he has vision. Wallahi, no vision. Wallahi, these people are fooling you. Wallahi, Shaykh Rahman, these people, I believe, husnul dhan. If I do husnul dhan, that they're deceived within themselves by the shayateen. To believe that they have this gift. Like, I am gifted to see these things, and the shayateen, they bring this picture to them. Now you live in delusional life. Okay,
They're destroyed. I mean, even look at Epstein and all these guys. Where are they today? They've destroyed their own lives. They lived their desires, but those shayateen min al-ins wal jinn,
Yes.
in the end, destroyed them. Maxwell and all these people.
Brothers and sisters, Ayatul Kursi, Al-Fatiha, the four code by your daily adhkar, your dhikr, your connection, hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that we could end with it inshallah in the Radi. Rasul ﷺ قال وَعْلَمْ. No, the hadith of Ibn Abbas, that is, everybody should study this hadith. The beginning said, احفظ الله يحفظ. Be with Allah, Allah will be with you. Be closer to Allah, Allah will be. طيب, at the end of the hadith, what did he say? He said, وَعْلَمْ. No, if all of mankind would to get together to benefit you, they won't be able to benefit you except if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decrees. And know if all of mankind would to come together to harm you, they won't be able to harm you except if Allah decrees upon you. Books are dry, pens are lifted. Assalamu alaikum, we're done. No more, no less. If it's a qadar, it's a qadar. Get treated, seek help. But you have Allah, who is more powerful than all magicians on earth, all creation, every single creation. Allah. This. نسأل الله أن يحفظنا وإياكم.
Barakallah feek, Sheikh. Always a pleasure speaking to you. Jazakallah khair.